Hey guys, Peter here to do an album review. Today I'm here to talk to you guys about the brand new record From Sorrow to Serenity, Reclaim, out March 22nd on Long Branch Records. The album has 11 tracks and it's 44 minutes in length. If there are a few words to describe, perhaps 3 words to describe this record, I would say aggression, intensity, and melody are those words. This album really has those 3 components in bunches, and it never lets go. This is a record that in my opinion is extremely constant, extremely well balanced, very linear in its approach. It is aggressive and intensive from the moment it starts all the way to finish. It never goes off the beaten path, it never deviates, there are no peaks, there are no valleys, there are no songs that allow you to really catch your breath. This is an album that the moment you turn it on to the moment you turn it off is a pure aggression and intensity. Now, that aggression and that intensity, even the melody that I mentioned before, really comes at you very well weaved. And what I mean by that is, from a vocal perspective, but also from a musical perspective, these guys really weaved their sound. And the way they did that is they really combined aggression and melody, both on the vocal side and on the instrumental side. And they did it in a really well-balanced way. They really created songs that go in and out of aggression and melody. They kind of blend the two. At some points, it's almost hard to tell where the song stops to be as intensive and as aggressive and it becomes more melodic, because those elements are so interweaved, they're so interconnected. And they did it on both sides, like I said, on both the vocal side with using clean and harsh vocals, but also on the musical side by creating riffs that were very heavy and yet still melodic. So the way they did this record, it really allowed it to really merge these sounds, to really merge these styles, and really create songs that are very dynamic, that almost have a life of their own, that really don't allow you to be able to differentiate between heaviness and melody, because they were kind of just blended all together. And they did it very well. They did it in a way that the songs don't really lose the momentum, the songs don't really lose anything by it, because you can't really tell them apart. They're just really well blended, they're really well mixed, so you really can't tell that there's any changes of emotion, of an overall vibe to the song, because the way they constructed the songs were really well done, and it really allowed for the record to have a certain fluidity, even when it got more melodic, even when the songs perhaps slowed down a little bit. It never really felt that way because of the way the songs were overall constructed, and then the way the tracks were put together. It just always felt like there was pure aggression and intensity, even when there was melody involved, and even when things perhaps slowed down a little bit. Now, I really have to mention something about this record that really spoke to me the moment I started listening to it, and that was the bass. I love how much these guys incorporated the bass into their music, and how much was used, and how much was it allowed to be heard on the record. Too many bands these days kind of hide the bass on the backtracks, and you can barely listen to any bass whatsoever on an album. These guys didn't do that. They really incorporated the bass well into the tracks, either to give the songs a certain heaviness, a certain undertone of heaviness, or to really set the tempo of the tracks. They used the bass extremely well. In some cases, it even brought some melody to the song, a really obscure and dark melody, but melody nevertheless. So I really like how they use the bass throughout the record. It's really predominant, it's really in the forefront. You really don't have to pay too much attention on any given track for you to notice how much the bass is used throughout the record, from song 1 to song 11. I love that, because it just adds a different level to the songs. It really allows the songs to really merge and be incorporated a lot better. And the bass on this record really gave the album a lot of heaviness, but at the same time a lot of grooviness. And then how they blended it with the guitars was almost like, instead of having a bass and a guitar, on some tracks it almost felt like you had 2 guitars playing. That was how dynamic their bass playing was on this specific record. I really like that. It has to be said, because not enough bands really utilize the bass to its full potential. And these guys did it on this record, and it really shows on track after track after track. I really like it. From a melodic perspective, I like how they did the switching between the guitars and the drums, and even incorporating a little bit of the vocals, specifically the clean vocals, to add some melody to the tracks. They did a wonderful job from that perspective as well. The riffs are either heavy, melodic, or very groovy and melodic, but there's always a sense of melody on every single song on this record. I really like that. I really like how they incorporated the guitars and the drums as well. They really interweaved all the instruments, including the vocals, to make songs that are very dynamic, they're very fluid, they have really a life of their own, and sometimes really enhance the lyrics. That's also important. It's important when you're singing to really know how to better merge those sounds, but also how better use your clean and harsh vocals in order to really bring the lyrics to life, to really enhance what the lyrics are all about on any specific song, because it just gives a different atmosphere to the tracks. It just gives an overall different vibe to the record, and it just allows the listener to connect a lot more with the music when you do it that way, when you give life to the lyrics by changing from harsh to clean vocals, or by really adding a drum line behind a very groovy guitar line, so that you enhance that flavor, you enhance that mood of the song, that mood of that specific lyric at that time. They did a wonderful job on this record, extremely well-balanced record all around, but one of the highlights in my perspective is really how well the sound was weaved together in order to construct songs that were aggressive, intensive, and still melodic. They were really able to create songs that combine these three elements to perfection and allows you to have a record that never loses any intensity from the first to the last track. Now, as far as favorite songs are concerned, I have to start with Denounce. That's the first song on the album. It has a slow build up until the aggression comes in, and that really is not a signature, but it is something that I saw a lot on this record, which was songs that had a slow intro, a slow build up, sometimes a very melodic build up until the aggression kicked in, and then it was non-stop aggression and intensity until the last second of the song. Great, heavy, and groovy riff. There's also a very heavy dose of bass on this song that really comes across. It's almost like you have an additional guitar player on this specific track. The way they use the bass to give a lot of grooviness to the song, I really like that, because it gave a heavier tempo to the song, but at the same time, the use of the bass really gave the song a lot of grooviness. Great mix of melody and grooviness throughout. This is a song that has a lot of momentum. I really enjoy the chorus. I like the cleaner vocals. I want to say cleaner because they're not 100% clean, but cleaner vocals in the chorus. It just gave the song a different look, a different vibe, a different feel. It almost felt like it mellowed out a little bit, but it didn't really. It just, the change in the vocals was enough to give your ears a different vibe, a different look, if you will, at this song. I absolutely love this song. What a perfect way to get the record started, with a song that has a lot of aggression, that really mixes a lot of the components that I said that are going to be present throughout the record. This song really has all of them in there, and it's the perfect start for the record because it really sets the mood and it really lets you know what to expect going forward. Another song that I really want to mention to you guys is Solitude. Killer guitar riff on this track, really blended well with the bass to create a heavy wall of sound. Then when you add the harsh vocals to it, it really gives the song a sense of purpose. You mix the heaviness of the guitars with that bass line, with the harsh vocals, and it just really feels like this song is going somewhere. It has a start, a middle, and a finish, and the whole time you just feel like the song is taking you on a journey of heavy and aggressive sound. I love how much the bass comes through in this song. This is another one that's really noticeable, how much they use the bass and how much they allowed it to be on the forefront of the song and really incorporated it well and allow it to be another component in order to give the songs, this specific song, heaviness when it needed to have some extra heaviness because the guitars were being groovy, or at least more groovy and more melodic. It needed something to have some heaviness there. They used the bass. When the guitars are being heavy, with heavier riffs, they use the bass to give the song a little bit of grooviness. They always alternated, they always did a good job. This song really represents that well. I really like that. I really like that blend of sound that they use between the bass and the guitar, specifically on this track. I also like the blend of vocals on this specific song. It really helped bring the lyrics to life. They really changed the mood, almost like they use harsh vocals when the song really dictated for the lyrics to be a little bit more aggressive and they wanted the message to come across in that tone, to come across a little bit more aggressive. They used harsh vocals, and then they used cleaner vocals when the song was a little bit more somber, when the mood was a little bit more darker. So they really changed the style of vocals to really represent the mood of the song, the mood of the lyrics to perfection. I really like Solitude. heavy track, and it comes in the middle of the album, and it's just a song that really has a lot of different key components that allow this song to have a lot of life, a lot of momentum. Last but not least, Unity Asunder. This is a song that also starts with a cool guitar riff. Like I said, a lot of the songs on this record either start with a very melodic, mellow intro, or they start with a very groovy, melodic guitar riff. There's either one or the other. All of them kind of have that kind of a slow build-up, slow melodic build-up towards a lot of heaviness that comes later. This one is no different. I really like that start. It just really allows the song to kind of breathe into your ears as you're starting to listen it, and then it opens the door to aggression. This song is like a volcano. You always feel like it's ready to erupt at any given time. There is a certain tempo to it, there's a certain momentum to it. The way all the components come together really allow this song to really feel like a volcano waiting to erupt. And when it does, it's just 100% energy, 100% aggression coming through, specifically from the guitars and the vocals, with the harsh vocals really taking it up a notch, if you will, and coming with a lot of aggression at you. I really like that. I really like the changes in vocal styles in this song also, because this song, perhaps of all the songs on the record, is the one that allows you to listen to a lot different styles of vocals within one single song. It's either harsh or clean, never 100% clean, but either harsh or clean. But within that harsh and clean, between those, there's a lot of different changes that they can do, and they did it on this song. They really change the mood of the song. It really changes the atmosphere of the song anytime you change your vocal delivery, your vocal style. It just enhances the lyrics and enhances the song, and it almost feels like you have the song with 10 different vocalists in it. So that itself gives the song a lot of momentum, a lot of hype, and a lot of intensity. So it's really nice that they incorporated a lot of different styles into one track. It really brought this track to the forefront. It really made this song feel very noticeable. All right, guys, this is it for me. From Sorrow to Serenity, Reclaim, out March 22nd on Long Branch Records. Let me know your thoughts on the band, the album. Leave them in the comment section below. I'll be reading those and getting back to you. Take care, guys.